Treyarch has released a dev talk for Black Ops 7 Zombies, pretty much going over all of our answered community questions. And I'm going to completely break this down and hopefully it can summarize what this video is going to be.
The beta was super helpful. We never had this before. It was really cool to just get all sorts of data, especially at high rounds. And so a lot of the tuning we're going to be making is related to high round strats and damage values. And
so Kevin Drew is pretty much explaining why the beta is really good for bringing in that feedback, because everyone in the community gets to play this open beta and basically they can see the kind of stats and the results of how players are doing inside of the game, which they can see like how much the weapons are doing, the damage numbers, high round strats, everything else, etc. And they can actually take feedback and make those improvements before the game launches in November, so they make the game more polished. Imagine us playing the beta, but that was the launch. Like, it's gonna be so huge how much updates are gonna actually improve this game.
Let's get into some of the big ones. Are we getting a unique Zombies HUD this year? There is a unique HUD theme coming to Zombies at launch. We're really excited to have that in BO7 and look for some more in the upcoming seasons.
So I'm glad that Black Ops 7 Zombies is actually getting its own HUD to fit its style of the game mode, which I'm not really a fan of him saying that we're going to get more within the seasons, which that's probably going to make it where it's going to be inside of a bundle, or it's going to be a purchasable bundle inside of the game, which I'm not really a fan of. Hopefully these HUDs presets are completely free, and hopefully the day ones that come with the launch, hopefully they're very good, because I love the classic HUD for Zombies. It just makes it more like you're actually playing Zombies, because if you're playing multiplayer and that same HUD is in Zombies, it does not feel like you're playing Zombies anymore, because it feels like you're playing like a rip-off version of Zombies with a different HUD on it. It just makes no sense.
why didn't Treyarch show off any HUD themes at COD Next? It simply just wasn't ready to show yet. So when we do COD Next, we use a build that's at this point a couple months dated. And so this was a feature that was later in our development cycle. The Zombies HUD theme is very unique for the mode. We're really excited about it, and we're going to show it to you before launch.
So this question kind of like piggybacks on what we already talked about. He's saying that the HUD, why they did not show the HUD in the Call of Duty Next, which they have a bunch of creators showcasing the game, the Zombies multiplayer and Warzone basically, and the Zombies. And well, we need you in Verdansk actually. But anyways, I think the reason why they don't show everything at Call of Duty Next, because it's a different kind of server, kind of different playtest they use. So it's an early stage in development. So when that game actually comes out, it's going to be very different from what we've seen at Call of Duty Next and what we played during the open beta, which is going to make huge improvements, which I cannot wait. And hopefully it's a step up from Black Ops 6, which some people are saying that the movement is exactly the same, but I feel like it feels more like Black Ops 4 in my opinion. But everyone's going to have their own opinions on what they think about that. But I think that otherwise they probably should have showed that Call of Duty Next, but at the end of the day, it probably wasn't ready, and it was just an early build of what a little teaser what we could be seeing during the launch of the game.
Weapons didn't feel strong enough after round 30 in the beta, so how are we going to address that?
We are looking at the higher rounds, and it's important for us that players are able to continuously play and maintain their ammunition by killing zombies, getting points, buying ammo, and the cycle continues. You didn't have access to your augments in the beta. Day one, you'll have access to anything you've unlocked in BO6, and that's going to be really helpful for maintaining your economy.
So this topic was pretty interesting, because they were talking about how after round 30 we don't do enough damage, because that's where the damage drop off happens. After round 30 you start to do less damage because the zombies are getting stronger and becoming more bullet sponges, and people are complaining about that, because if you have good weapons and have all these attachments, why are they not doing the full potential damage? And people complain about that, and he does have a point in this video that we do not have the augments unlocked, like double tap or Deadshot Daiquiri or any of the perks actually gives you a buff to do more damage, which I think once the augments come on day one, I think that's when we're going to feel like the damage is actually going to be pretty good. Because in Black Ops 6 so far with the augments, I think you do pretty good damage, and the damage overall is kind of disgusting, and it's very good. But hopefully, I think even before round 30, I feel like my weapons were not even doing that much damage otherwise. But hopefully the melee weapons can get sped up a little bit, because the animation on that baton is absolutely ridiculous.
So for the saw blade trap, we did decide to increase the price just a little bit there. We saw that a lot of players were spending a little bit of essence and almost making that all back. So we're going to bump that up, and we're also going to reduce the attraction on that.
So for the saw trap, this one was very recommended for high rounds and like 100 plus and beyond. People use this trap to get ridiculous high rounds, and it gives you so much salvage. And the reason why they made this change because the trap was too cheap to gain everything back as it costs to gain everything with the trap. So I think this is going to be a positive change. A lot of people are not going to like this. The trap's going to cost more because from how long it activates and how much zombies it kills and how much stuff it drops, you're getting like quadruple the amount of what you paid for, which is really not fun because in zombies, you actually want to be using your weapon and not just using the trap only, basically just sitting there, and it's kind of boring. So I feel like they looked at the stats and like, okay, people are using the trap and they're getting too much out of it, more than what they paid for. So I think this is a positive change, and people are going to look at this and be like, wow, Treyarch loves nerfing good things. And I think this is going to be a great balance for Black Ops 7 zombies.
Also, we have this change with SMGs where at really close ranges, you'll get a damage bonus. The shock baton is getting some adjustments too. We wanted to make sure the weapon is balanced with the new abilities of heavy attack and critical attack. It was doing pretty significant damage during the beta, and we wanted to make sure we have room to grow with other weapons and give them their own identities. We've also made some other minor adjustments to a few other weapons, which you can find out
when we go live.
All right, so I don't understand why they made the melee weapon to get more points on critical headshot kills with the melee weapon. I don't understand why they're adjusting that because I feel like that was like actually a good method to get more points, which if you actually use the baton and actually get a melee kill or a headshot kill with it, you get more points, which is a critical, which is yellow numbers. I understand why they're nerfing that, but when we ask for more damage and when a weapon does more damage, they feel like they just need to nerf everything. Just balance everything out that keeps up with that damage and the XP and the numbers. And if you just balance everything, you want to nerf or buff anything. Just make everything the same damage so people can use different types of weapons. It's just how it works. Because other weapons are always going to be better than other weapons because how weapons are balanced inside of zombies. And I feel like weapons should actually do damage in zombies no matter what round you're on.
Why was the Doppelgast in the beta? So we want to make sure that each survival map kind of has its own identity, and we thought that at round 40, it's high enough rounds to kind of add in a little bit of variety to kind of spice up the loop there. We thought the Doppelgast is a great kind of intermediate between the Zersa and the normal zombies and the Ravagers. But that's going to be something like each survival map will kind of have its own unique identity. Don't expect the Doppelgast to be in every survival map. This might be the only survival map it's in.
I understand that they want the high rounds to be more difficult because on a certain round, you don't want to just have zombies because it just makes it less difficult. Let's be honest here. Classic zombies always had zombies, which depending on what map you played, there was a special zombie like Origins. You had the Panzer that spawned in, and it kind of made that difficult round harder because once you get to a certain round, it's like, oh crap, I need to prepare for the Panzer round because it makes it more difficult than versing zombies. Depending on what map you're playing, it scales to that kind of difficulty. But with the Barn survival map and Black Ops 7 zombies, it was basically just regular zombies, armored zombies, then mixed in with some Ravagers with the special rounds, also with regular rounds. And once you hit that round 40 cap, that's when Doppelgast starts spawning in. And people were kind of upset because it was just a recycled boss from Black Ops 6, obviously. And I don't think that it's not them being lazy. They just want to add more variety of something they already have in the engine itself. So adding variety of different Doppelgast and armored zombies, regular zombies, it adds the mix in other than just versing the same enemy over and over. I understand what they're going for, and I appreciate Treyarch for doing that, but I don't think they need to start implementing new enemies and not just be annoying, just enough to add the difficulty, raise it up a little bit so it's not annoying to go against. And I feel like the amalgam is where they set the boundaries for that one.
Is every special elite enemy from Black Ops 6 coming to Black Ops 7? No. So for the most part, the enemies from Black Ops 6 aren't coming over. In general, like the evolutionary chain from Black Ops 6, so Parasite, Vermin, and Amalgam are not coming to Black Ops 7.
No manglers.
So someone was obviously going to ask this question because we seen Doppelgast after round 40 for some apparent reason. And after them not saying that Doppelgast or the amalgams or even the manglers are coming in, they just giggled at it because they know the mangler spam on Liberty. So I feel like that's why they laughed at it. But I think we deserve more variety of different enemies other than just what we had in Black Ops 6, because it's just like, what's the point of having another game and just going to repeat the same enemies but different maps?
Tell us more about Cursed. I would love to tell you more about Cursed, but the mode is inherently built to be about discovery and letting the community figure out what is all in there. So we're trying to kind of strike that balance of letting you know the general shape of the mode. It's a harder, more advanced mode, and once you're in there, you have the classic point system, no mini map, you start with a pistol, but besides that, there's other attributes that change, like ammo costs and things like that. But what you're doing in there is you're trying to find these relics, and each relic is this additional difficulty modifier. So you find that, you unlock it permanently, and you can activate relics and make the mode even harder, but by doing so, you'll also unlock additional rewards. And the first reward is once you hit kind of tier 1 is golden armor now becomes available in Cursed as a wall buy. With that said, let's try to answer some of the questions you do have about the mode.
So a quick summary, he talks about how Curse mode is kind of implemented inside of the game with classic mode, which has taken the Black Ops 3 style of what we had with no mini map, classic perks. I don't know classic perks, but it's just, I don't know if there's a perk limit, but I'm guessing there is. There's a just starting pistol, classic point system. So it's based on bullets hit instead of eliminations, which is very huge. And he says that it's basically going to be about finding these relics that have different modifiers to do these certain things. And it's kind of weird, but I do kind of like it because it gives you something to do, because you're going to be able to go in and actually earn these modifiers. Like, oh, this one does the no mini map. Oh, this one does the classic point system. This one has, you know, the 4 perk limit, or this one has reduced points on ammo. And the one that actually stuck out the most, which was the golden armor at level 1. So I don't know what he means by that. Like after level 1, you can actually purchase gold armor, which gold armor we've seen in Modern Warfare 3 zombies and the Tomb in Black Ops 6, which over time, instead of just replenishing your armor, it replenishes over time. So as long as you don't get hit, it replenishes it by itself, which is very huge. I wish that system was kind of permanent in zombies, because it's kind of annoying trying to like replate, which they probably think it's going to be overpowered, because even though you have 3 plates, that doesn't mean you're not going to take HP damage, because golden armor, you can still die, and it happened to me before. So I think this is a huge improvement to the Curse mode. I'm really excited to see, and it's going to offer a lot of content outside of this mode.
Can we get Cursed at launch without having to unlock it? So we know there's a lot of discussion about this, and we totally understand that players want to experience this version of zombies. So what we're gonna do is unlock Cursed as soon as someone out in the world completes the main quest in Ashes of the Damned. We'll make sure that everyone's able to go into that mode once that main quest has been solved.
No pressure.
This one was a question that I was actually waiting for. So pretty much you can unlock the Curse mode by completing the main quest of the Easter egg. And if you're in a party and you have people that haven't completed that, but you did, it gives people other chances of actually doing Curse mode. At least one person in your party that has Curse mode, everyone in that party can play it, which is very awesome. It's almost like playing zombies back in Black Ops 2, and that one person doesn't have the DLC pack. And it's like, okay, we can't play Mom of the Dead because he doesn't have it. This is kind of the point I'm looking at, because if one person has Curse mode, everyone can play it. You don't need, the whole party doesn't need to, beat the Easter egg, which is kind of cool.
Will there be a relic to remove armor in Cursed? No. You really need armor to survive these high rounds. It's a harsh world out there. Without armor, you die pretty quickly. So we do have an augment for Vulture Aid that will automatically replay an armor piece for you when you pick it up. But also, there's golden armor, which you can get after you upgrade to 3 plates.
You're going to need golden armor in Cursed. It's a really challenging mode. When you start stacking those relics at higher tiers, it's essential.
All right, this one in particular is one of my least favorite questions here, or how they answered it, because basically they're saying that Curse mode is going to have armor no matter what, which in my past videos, if you guys follow the channel or not, on the Black Ops 7 news, I've figured that this would kind of remove armored system because it's pretty bad. And the way they're doing it is, they said we need it. They said the armor makes it easy, and I understand what they're going for, but I think the point of classic zombies is making it difficult as it was before. You're gonna get 2 or 3 hit and you're down. That's supposed to be like that's how difficult it's supposed to be, and they're making it less difficult because of the armor system. I understand that, and I think with Vulture's Aid and having a augment that pretty much replates your armor automatically and gold armor, I think that is a good kind of replacement, because it's a choice that you can make. But I think Cursed mode should have no armor system at all, because that's how zombies, I think that's how hardcore zombies will play, because that's what you're used to in classic zombies, to get 2 to 3 hit. And once you get Juggernog, you get that +2 hit. That's the point of zombies. It takes 4 hits to get down with the Juggernog, and without it, you get 3 hit down. So I don't understand why they're thinking that way, but hopefully they change that in the near future. But I do like the armor changes to the Walter's Aid and the Golden Armor. I think that's very good.
Can we get some legacy weapons in BO7 zombies, like the Olympia and PPSH 41? We've seen the discussion about this, and we are looking into how this might be doable, but no promises. Was the X52 Resonator from Season 6 originally supposed to be a wonder weapon? So we've seen your theories online. Sometimes the community can be pretty accurate, but in this case, no. This weapon was concepted a couple months after Shattered Veil had shipped, and it's intended for the Season 6 haunting, where the weapons team could really let loose and create, another fantastic weapon. This one in particular is made for the whole game. So, MP and zombies.
With the introduction of the Halloween event with zombies, and the X52 Resonator was supposedly, people thought it was supposed to be a wonder weapon part of Shadow Veil, and Treyarch explained that this was actually developed after the map and after the fact, and it was designed for the Halloween event and for it to be its own weapon part of the event. So the fact is we got that confirmation, and it's this crazy of a weapon. I think that we need more events like this with these kind of crazy weapons. I really enjoyed this weapon. I think the weapon is a little bit weak. I've only played with it for a little bit, but I think it does need a buff though.
What was the highest round someone reached during the beta? It was 617, which is an impressive number given the time that players had to play Van Dorn Farm. So congratulations. Will there be a super Easter egg in Black Ops 7? A super Easter egg is something that we care a lot about. We know the community cares a lot about, and we want to do it right. So it's something we're looking into for Black Ops 7. This being a continuation from 6 to 7, it makes a lot of sense if we're going to do one to have it at the end of this year.
All right, that's another positive. They're actually adding a super Easter egg at the end of Black Ops 7's life cycle, which is pretty amazing. We were expected to see one during Black Ops 6, which they could have brought it in during the Halloween event. I feel like they didn't have enough time, or they didn't want to disappoint people on what the reward was. And hopefully the one from Cold War can give them an idea of what we want, and hopefully we can see this at the end of Black Ops 7 Zombies. So that has been the video. I will link the original video down below, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.